Hello, 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 and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexis, and I am here sharing with you guys my real estate journey to financial freedom, financial independence, actually, because I recently got fired from corporate America and I never want to go back to a 8 to 5 desk job ever again. So my mission right now is to make real estate my full-time job and be able to live off of that income. So I want to show you guys what I'm doing so that maybe you guys could do the same. Because I know we're not all in love with the 8 to 5 and working for a boss, and maybe we don't even like the environment. So why not join me on this journey and we could both learn as we go, because I am definitely not an expert, but I am open and willing to teach you what I know and the process that I'm going to go through, and we both could learn that together. So on this video, I wanted to talk a little bit on what I touched the last time that we were here. And I had spoken about HELOC. I've also talked about assets and liabilities, but I lightly touched on that. So I wanted to expand on what that was so that you have a better idea what the heck I'm talking about. But I also wanted to give you an update on the construction that I'm currently doing. So I'm currently working on building 2 units to my home that will be rentals. So that's what I'm currently doing. And I wanted to show you what that is looking like so far. Last time I had told you guys that the first the plumbing phase had already completed and the inspection passed. So now what was next is doing the foundation to the dwellings. So basically the cement, the bottom portion of it. So it requires a lot of digging and they'll also be pouring cement. So it'll be a big cement slab where they'll be starting construction on the dwellings there. So, the foundation was dug, so I'll show you that. And yesterday the inspector did come and he passed it. So tomorrow I'm looking to getting that cement poured. So it is coming along beautifully. And let me show you that before we move on and we jump into what I mentioned. So give me a second while I show you and we'll be back. So the after, this is the foundation that's ready to be inspected. This is all the rebar that they put in place so that the cement could hold up the structure. So this is what it basically looks like, front and back. It's ready to be inspected. So continuation. And that's basically so the cement also holds the structure, that holds onto that cement. So everywhere the plumbers broke will be getting filled in with that rebar. And we're back. We're back, and it's actually been a few days already. So there's been a few updates since then. And that foundation, it's already been covered with cement actually. So I'll go ahead and show you that. I don't know if on this video or the next one, but I do want to, like I mentioned, want to touch on the assets and liabilities, and also again just tell you what the HELOC is. So it's basically an acronym. And I'll put it somewhere here, but it is a HELOC. It's spelled it's HELOC, and it stands for Home Equity Line of Credit. And basically, that's what the equity you built in any of your properties. And what is equity, right? So it's the difference between what you owe on your property and what it's worth. So a lot of these banks, they allow for homeowners to pull out a loan with that difference within those that I was gonna call restraint, but it allows you to withdraw from that difference. So you could go ahead and withdraw up to, I think the most you could probably withdraw is, if you're lucky, 80%. They definitely would not let you borrow 100% of that difference. So what you could, and that's why I like getting the rundown or the very poor shaped properties, because then I get a low mortgage, low payment, and I'm slowly building in that equity with all the updates and remodeling and adding and subtracting and all the beautiful, great things, because then you don't necessarily have to refinance in order to pull out that money, which is another method investors use to tap into that money that they invested and then put it in another property or get their money back, period. But if you have a good interest rate, you don't want to do that. You don't want to touch your interest rate if it's really low. So the other option would be the HELOC. And so you tap into it, you go through the bank, they approve you for whatever amount, because it's not always the maximum amount. It's going to be up to the bank to determine how much they'll go ahead and give you the percentage. And that you could use to reimburse yourself or to throw it into another project. And that's the route I like to take, just because the my first property has a really good interest rate. So like I said, you don't want to mess with it. And that's the HELOC that's helping me pay for this project that I am currently working on at the new property. And with this new property, the equity that I do build in, I think this is where I'll go ahead and probably refinance my mortgage, which basically means they reassess everything and you get a new interest rate and you can pull out the difference from the equity. You could tap into that difference again at that point. And then you get a new payment depending on how much you pull, because it will go up if you pull all of it, pull that whole equity out. And the reason I'm going to do that with this project, well, with this property, is because my interest rate wasn't that great. Wasn't really great. So I will be seeking to get that reduced. And hopefully by the time I am ready, the interest rates are good. We'll see. And and then what I'll probably be doing is putting it into another project. So right now I'm in a place that I want to grow in order to make this work for me, that I don't have to go back to a 8 to 5. I have to grow. There's no way I could stay like this and then thrive. I'm not there yet. So that's what my goal is. So that's what a HELOC is, home equity line of credit. And then assets and liabilities. So what the heck are assets and liabilities? And basically, to begin with, liabilities are things that you buy and put money into that don't make any income for you. It doesn't give you anything back. Absolutely nothing. So, what are some examples of these? Buying the latest and greatest iPhone or phone, period, shoes, clothing, those kind of things don't bring in any kind of income for you. They don't produce any kind of um, monetary value. You basically spend the money and never see that again. But with assets, you purchase something and it does make money back. So, for example, an investment property. So, what I'm doing right now, I'm putting in that money, but lo and behold, it will return that money and then some. So, those are the kind of things that you want to invest in. It's, and you know what? Honestly, the way you want to start is if you get into any kind of property, you want to jump into a multifamily property because a single family home, unfortunately, could be a liability because you purchase a home and you put in all this money and you're living in it and it just gets more and more expensive. And then sometimes we can't even afford it because unfortunately, the mortgage payment will go up. Why? Because you have to pay insurance. Insurances go up, your taxes go up, and that's also within your mortgage. So those kind of things is what makes your mortgage start going up and up and up. And so you don't ever want to find yourself in a situation where your house is consuming all your income. You do not want that. Sorry, you do not want that. So what you want to do is get a multifamily, whether that's a duplex. So it's basically a building where more than one family could live. So multifamily, meaning you could get a duplex and up, triplex, fourplex, anything that has another unit that will help you pay for your mortgage. So that's what you want to get into. And that's the best route. My recommendation is to get in. Although there's a lot of investors that do go in with single family homes, um, but that's not my cup of tea. And honestly, I don't think their profits are that great. But maybe I'm wrong, just because that's not my niche. That's not what I do. I love multifamilies. So those are the things that I did want to touch on. And if you have any more questions, I'll be definitely comment them below and make sure to subscribe so that you could hear the answer when I get around to your question, answering it on the next video. And then also I wanted to um let you guys know of a few other things, but I guess for now I'll leave this video at this point and I will catch you up on the next one. Thank you guys.